Hey, you guys, it's me, Bonnie, your host of the Grieving Girl podcast. And today we have me all by myself. Guys, I don't usually do episodes by myself, but that's just the way the cookie crumbled. Out of accountability to keep the podcast on its bi weekly schedule and to keep myself in that schedule, here I am. It is a gloomy, gross Thursday, and I'm going to talk about some sad stuff, and then we're going to move it on. So, I reached out to my DDC, the Dead Dog Club, telling them I was going to be doing a quick, brief 15-minute episode and to either send me a question or some sort of prompt because, like, they get it. Shout out to Natalie and Suze, the co-founders of the DDC. And the prompt was, well, like, what do you want to talk about? Which was, well, that's why I'm coming to you. But I was just recently thinking about how I feel like I'm starting to already forget so much about my mom. And I do not remember my dad. So, excuse me, that's like a little terrifying because, like, by the time I'm 60, will I remember her at all? Who knows? So, they said, I did not think I was going to get so upset so quickly. Funny enough, when I have to talk by myself, that's when I get the most upset, which is why we're never on this podcast alone. So I'm just like kind of terrified of forgetting. And so they were like, well, why don't you name like 3 things that you remember about your dad and 3 things you don't? Since I reached out to the DDC. And so I'm going to do that, I guess. I just feel like, fear of forgetting is so interesting. Wow, I really can't believe I'm so upset. I was not feeling emotional before I joined the screen, so that's unpacking things for you. Um, okay. Things that I remember about my dad. He really loved blue sweatpants. Like, that I do remember. I also remember his love of the like New Balance 560s, whatever they are, that everybody's wearing, 1030s, who knows the number? The old man New Balance shoes, the blue and the white, because they were like the cheap old man dad shoe to keep everybody else happy. He loved those. Like, I have images of those at our door. So I remember his blue sweatpants, and I remember his New Balance shoes. And this came up on vacation, because when you have a sibling, their recollection of your parents is going to be totally different, even though you were like living in the same house. Your experience is entirely different. And I totally forgot until my sister reminded me, and I now do have it unlocked a memory of my dad really liked mayo, and he would put it on the side of his plate at dinner to like dip anything in it, like chicken. Like, anytime my mom had chicken, he was putting a little bit of mayo on it. And now, the more my sister and I talk, it's because we realize my mom like really overdid the chicken all the time. Not only did we have it all the time, then she like usually overcooked it because she didn't want it to be raw. And he was probably trying to make it taste good. So like, I do have that memory now because that became unlocked. Yeah, and he was just like quintessential, like to stare at the lawn that he cut for hours on a Sunday. But I don't remember much, and it's kind of nuts. So the DDC gave me my homework, and that's definitely 3 things. And that's all I feel like I emotionally have the capacity to do today, which is nuts. I really did not think I was going to start this episode off emotional. Which, again, anytime I do this thing by myself, I feel like this is how it is, and that is something to unpack. um So yeah, my cousin Tori was going to be on the episode today, but I was like not necessarily feeling like I wanted to be on a schedule. She had some things with work. We'll get her on at another point. She lives with my aunt who was on last time. And she was like, hey, I heard the recording of the episode. And if you ever want me to do an episode, I'll do one. So we're going to get her on here at some point. But today it just didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. We'll do a short, sweet episode just to like check in with the people. And here I am sitting on my screen crying by myself in my living room. LOL. Yeah, and I really truly feel like my throat chakra is just like clenching. So, this is the world's shortest episode, but you know, sometimes we've got to honor where we're at, which is like I want to talk, but I don't want to talk. And that's cool. And it also just like says a lot. Like the thought of the forgetting is like enough for me to just, it's sending me over the edge. So, and that is relatable and that is real and that is in the safe space of the Grieving Girl podcast. So if you're someone listening and that resonates with you, clearly you're not alone. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. I'll be curious to see how this all goes with me going into rehearsal for my shows because I usually record on like Thursdays and I only have off on Mondays, and I also work on Mondays and need to do laundry and get groceries on Mondays. So when am I going to record? That's a good question. I might be bullying people on our lunch break to record with me out in the park or something. Um, and so we'll figure that out as we go. But sorry this was such an emotional episode, you guys. I know that it like really isn't. It feels worse than it probably sounds, but yeah, that's where I'm at. And that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna wrap this up because, you know, it's a 10-minute episode and that's okay. And that's fine. And I guess I've got nothing to add, so I'm not gonna force it. So y'all, I'll leave you with that I will see you in 2 weeks. I don't know who's going to be on and I don't know what we're going to talk about, but feeling forgetful is freaking me out. So, yay, grief. Cool. Amazing. I don't know anything in my brain. It's like crazy to think that it's in there, right? I'm like, it's in there. Can't find it. All right, you guys. I really was just trying to push it to the 10-minute mark, but we're still at 9 minutes. And I think that that's plenty. So this wasn't the most fruitful episode, but I did it. And now I can say that I did a solo episode of Brief Grief. That's what we'll call the episode. Brief Grief. Here we are with a magnifying glass. You can still be sad 6 years later, and it's like always changing, always morphing, all the reasons why people are grieving all life long. Here you go. Here it is. Yay. All right, look, wait, 15 more seconds. I might as well just keep yapping for 15 more seconds. Brief grief. Yeah, it's weird. I'm sitting here like scared to forget. And also like I had a pretty like good summer, which is also nice. So, yay, we made it to 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.